To no one's surprise, Clair Obscur dominated 2025's Game Awards, and I definitely think that the game's deserving of all the praise going its way. However, sadly, it's not on macOS, leaving us, Mac users, unable to enjoy it, at least not the conventional way. But I did some research and some testing and found 5 great ways to enjoy this game on an Apple computer. Now I'll spend the next few minutes explaining each one. If at any point you find yourself overwhelmed with all the information, there is a link to our site in the description where you will find a very structured article on how to play the game. But before you choose which one you want, you'll have to buy Clair Obscur. To help you, we'll leave links in the description to where you can purchase it, and we'll also add links to discounts when such are available. Now let's get to the ways to play it. The first method you can use is Boosteroid, the cheapest cloud gaming service that's actually any good. The main draw of cloud gaming is that your machine doesn't matter so long as you can supply it with around 40 megabits of stable internet. And if you've got a faster connection, you can crank up everything to max even in 4K, and you should be more than fine. And let me tell you, if there's a 2025 game that deserves to be played at the best graphics you can squeeze out of your hardware, this is the one. Clair Obscur is gorgeous, a perfect example of a title where art direction and raw graphics come together to make something I can only describe as a feast for the eyes. But the visual flair comes at a hefty hardware price. This game is demanding, so even high-end machines can struggle with maintaining decent performance at high or ultra settings. Cloud gaming services like Boosteroid resolve this problem by giving you all the hardware power you may need for max graphics and smooth FPS. As mentioned, the only thing needed on your end is good internet. So even if you aren't a fan of cloud gaming in general, perfectly understandable, I still think it's worth giving it a try for a game like Clair Obscur. All you have to do to start gaming is follow the link in the description, register for the service, and buy a subscription. Then just search for the game and click play. It's all pretty easy, but we have a how-to tutorial if you need it, and an overview of the service if you want something more in-depth to make up your mind. The next solution is GeForce Now, and it is the largest and most popular cloud gaming service out there. Its pricing is steeper than Boosteroid, but this is somewhat offset by its larger gaming library. I'd say both GFN and Boosteroid are solid solutions for this game. Generally, GeForce Now is the choice for when you want the best of the best with all the bells and whistles, but Boosteroid's significantly better price and library is what wins me over most of the time. Performance-wise, they are similar, but your personal experience and stream quality really depend on your location relative to the servers of either platform. Trying both for a month is the best way to figure out which works best for you. Like with Boosteroid, all you need is stable internet, with around 40 megabits per second, and you can play games with 1080p and 60 frames per second without any noteworthy lag. And if you've got a faster internet, say around 50 megabits per second, you can stream with 4K and 120 FPS. Using GFN is similarly simple. Just go to the respective link below, click Join Now, pick a preferred plan, and register. Then download the service's macOS app, launch it, and look for Clair Obscur. Then click play, and after logging in, you can start playing. The next solution we want to give you is XCloud, Microsoft's proprietary cloud gaming service. To play Clair Obscur with it, you'll need a game controller connected to your Mac, no keyboard and mouse support here. Personally, I prefer Boosteroid or GFN over XCloud because there's no 4K here and because I don't like not having the option to play with mouse and keyboard. But if these aren't deal breakers for you, then XCloud is at least worth a try. To use XCloud, go to the link in the description, choose a preferred Game Pass plan, and register. After picking a payment method and starting your subscription, make sure you've got a controller connected to your Mac and then just find the game in the XCloud library and click play. Crossover is the go-to method in 2025 if you want to use your Mac's hardware. It will give you the ability to play anywhere you want without internet limitations and scales better with newer Macs, but you're not going to get anywhere near the graphical fidelity or performance you'll have with cloud solutions. Clair Obscur is a good case study for this. As noted earlier, it's a heavy game, so running it locally, especially through a compatibility tool like Crossover, requires a decently powerful Mac. Think an M1 Pro with 32 gigs or better. A weaker machine might be able to run it, but you'll be playing at very low graphics and performance will still be pretty poor, at which point you might as well use cloud gaming. In my own tests on an M3 Max MacBook Pro with 36 gigs, I got decent FPS, around 60, while playing at low settings and 1080p resolution. Also, I did encounter a few bugs, but those can be resolved and I'll explain how in a moment. So Crossover is definitely a valid option here, you just need to be aware of its limitations. Also, with this method, you can use mods for single-player games and there's a 14-day free trial. To use Crossover, click the link in the description, enter your email, and download the app. Then, after you install Crossover, you must click the Try Now option for the 14-day trial. If you need a longer tutorial, visit our video on that. Just note that the experience with crossover can sometimes vary between updates, so don't be surprised if it suddenly starts to break the game. If this happens, check our site for the detailed instructions, or you'll have to research this on your own. Now for the crossover fixes you may need to apply when trying to play Clair Obscur with it. First, if you ever get a frozen screen or a single-digit FPS rate, quit the game, go to the bottle settings, and make sure the translation layer used is set to D3D Metal. Also, it's recommended to have M-Sync enabled. After that, you can start the game and it should run okay. Next, if the game is constantly asking you to install VC++ runtime, you should click Run command in the game's crossover bottle. Type this in the new window and select Run. Then, go to the Libraries tab and one by one add all of the following library overrides. There could be other minor bugs, but these are the two main ones that I and many others encountered, so fixing them should result in a pretty smooth crossover experience with Clair Obscur. Sikarugir, previously known as Kegworks, is currently the most popular replacement for Whisky since the latter got discontinued by its developer. Think of it as a DIY version of crossover. It's free, but it's not as reliable or user-friendly. I personally prefer crossover, but if you are on a tight budget, you can give Sikarugir a go. For this game in particular, Sikarugir gets the job done and lets you play it on a Mac, but you should still be prepared for occasional bugs while working with the tool. Performance-wise, it's also similar to crossover, but with more jank and potential for things breaking down. As for the setup, you first need to install Homebrew, then Sikarugir itself, then Steam, and then the actual game. The process takes a bit more time compared to the other methods here, and so is beyond the scope of this video. For detailed guidance on how to set up Sikarugir, just click the respective video in the description and it will show you exactly what to do. So this brings us to the conclusion of today's video. Remember, for more detailed explanations of the methods to play this game on Mac, you can always check the video tutorials linked in the description. And if you are interested in exploring more popular gaming titles you can play on your Apple machine, you should check the videos that will now appear on your screen or simply browse through our channel. Also, in case you found this content helpful, we'd greatly appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribe to our channel. Take care and see you in the next one.